Beyond, and now back to authors, writers, books, and beyond.
Hi, welcome back to the second segment of Authors, Writers, Books, and Beyond. I am Kathy Boyd-Fellure, your hostess, and we have a wonderful July show for you that we enjoyed in the 3 minutes you were gone very much. It's too bad you couldn't have been here. We are going to run a video clip for you here to show, it's a classic clip?
It's just a montage of various things that we've done. So
it's the demo reel that we have on our website.
Okay.
We have a website and we have a demo reel to give you an idea, and then people can pick specific
And we'll give you
ones.
that
Okay.
website for sure before we go, so take it away,
All
Reese. Oh, that's me. Oh, I love it.
It is my opinion that there is nothing in classical literature that young people today would find either interesting or exciting.
If you're here watching this, because if you're here today, somebody's making you read Jane Eyre, Little Women, Alice in Wonderland, Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, published in 1818.
But I could be wrong.
so that's
This is
all the fun we've been having over the past couple of years.
and this man put, of course, we had done the videos, and we knew we needed a short demo piece, and that's all this young man, and the music is wonderful, and the editing is wonderful,
No,
and the
Reej
pacing
cracks
is
me up though,
wonderful.
because she always says this, and I'm like, Reej, I just say go. And then Reej comes with the scripts written. She's got the wardrobe, she's got the props, and I set up a camera and I say go, and then it's so we're having a lot of fun.
It's
You write and produce.
Yes, yes, I do. Yes, I do.
I can see where this comes from. We're going to take a quick little snippet back to where we left off so you can finish. I think some of this comes from here.
I think you're absolutely right.
I think so. So take us back to where we were.
Well, I was saying that Paul Curran, in 1945, gave me my first airplane ride in a little tiny airplane with a 20 horsepower engine. And he was built like a barrel, and I was about 130 pounds. And as he went down that little dirt runway, I just kept going back in my seat because I knew he was not going to make it over those trees. It wasn't 20 horsepower is not very much.
No, I don't think so.
And pretty soon he pulled it back and we went up in the air. And I don't know how we got over the trees, but we did. I think there were some leaves caught in the wheels.
Oh.
But we went flying around, and I was absolutely chiseled into aviation. And when we flew around, we circled my family's home, and I looked down. My dad was out in the backyard, and there were one little fields there. And we were waving, and he was waving, and he didn't know it was me.
Oh, he had no idea.
How would he know? We were
my goodness.
500, 600 feet in the air. And we went over, we looked at the dam that was close to our home, and we flew around the people from Texas grew longhorn steers near Elmhurst, and we flew around the steers, and you could actually see those great big steer, the big horns. And we flew around different places, and he pointed out stuff to me, and then we went back to land, and I kept going this way again as we were going to land because I was frightened about the trees. But he put it over the trees, put it on the runway, and he said, someday I'll take you up and give you a lesson. I said, okay, any day you say. And one day, about a month after that, he did. But that little red airplane sealed my fate in aviation.
You were hooked.
And from there, we came to California in 1948, and we weren't rich enough to buy airplanes or flying lessons. So I had to wait till I got out of medical school to take my first actual flying lesson. And when medical school was over, I moved to Ione with Reej. We had no other girls then. And things went well for us. And there's a gentleman in Amador County named John Allen who had a ranch up on Sutter Hill. And I bought his airplane from him. And he bought a bigger airplane.
So that's how it works.
That was my start. For $1,500, I was a flyer.
Wow.
And Bill Westover, who was the manager of the airport, he helped me get the airplane all in perfect condition. And he took me up a few times and showed me how to fly around mountains and taught me how to land it. Amador Airport at that time was just under 2,000 feet long, and it was shaped like an aircraft carrier with nothing on the ends. So if you didn't land on the airport, you landed into the mountain.
Wow.
And he showed me how to fly that airplane.
Designed that.
But over time, it just became a second nature.
Did you take your daughters up with you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We went up. I think our middle girl, Corella, that your dear friend, Corella,
Skittish.
a little skittish about any number of things, and so she enjoyed it the least of all.
She was even skittish about aggressive rabbits.
Oh, Corella, she has such an imagination.
Corella.
Yes, but we went up quite a bit. I went up with him quite a bit, and he took Danny. You know Danny. I think you know Danny Stewart down in Ione, and he tells the story. He won't let me away from him without telling the story about when my father owned a piece of property down on West Marlette, where he also had his strip there, and he took all the kids at one time or another up and down in the airplane, and
I missed him.
Poor Danny Stewart said, the trees were too high, so poor father, he said, you understand your father landed it sideways. I said, yes, I know he did.
Goodness.
And he had to kind of come in sideways, and then he could straighten it out back there, and Danny said, I don't think I will ever fly again after that. So had to kind of tip it a little bit to get through.
That first runway was only 700 feet long. And in order to get to it, you had to come down between the oak tree and the barn, and you had to twist the airplane this way to get over onto the runway.
You have to be good.
I have to be good.
You have to be very good.
We never missed.
Good or lucky, huh?
But in time, I had a gentleman come with a grader, and he made 1,100-foot runway, but it was a 45-degree angle, and it tipped 5 degrees, so you could take off or land on it either way. And that made a runway. So that's where I flew the most of my time. But I think owning airplanes and not flying them is a sin. And I have an airplane currently that's down at Lodi Airport, but it's out of inspection, and I can't fly it until I get it inspected. So I'm still flying.
And how old are you, sir?
July 4th, I was 86.
July 4th, you were 86. How wonderful.
And,
You're still flying.
Well, I'll fly till I'm gone.
That's
You know,
wonderful.
I was told this story before about this man, and I said, some of us have heard, the World Health Organization or someone recently in the last couple of years have announced that they think that somewhere right now on the planet is a person that they believe will be the first person to live to be a recorded age of 150. And my father is convinced it will be him. Now, I said,
I say
Dad,
go for it.
I have a feeling they're talking about some little boy on the Sudan or a little girl in China or something, but no, my father is convinced that he will be it. So that would be
As
wonderful.
long as you're still flying.
As long as you're still flying.
You know,
Okay.
This book is not about me only. It's about my flying. But most of it is about the most glorious people in the world that I've met in aviation.
Can you name a few before we go to break?
Well, everybody remembers the Baba Black Sheep.
Oh, yes.
It was a story written about a true, actual thing that happened back in the Pacific in the Second World War. Happy Boyington belonged to a group of nonconformists who flew Corsairs against the Japanese and became very famous. He was a double ace. He was a very accomplished flyer and a very accomplished drinker. And,
Quite a combo.
and a wonderful, wonderful person who retired to Fresno and came up to Amador County one day to an air show, and I had the privilege of spending an hour with him alone. And it was interesting because he was sitting over there. I said, "I'm Tony Guidon." Well, I'm Reej Boyington. How do you do? And he put his hand out, and he went, "Ow!" I said, "Take it easy. I'm an old man." He was in his 80s then, and I guess I shook it too hard.
Oh, well, we have to break, but you know what? If you people out there, if there's some of you that don't know who that is, look it up before we come back.
Absolutely.
You have 3 minutes because that is something special. I have to tell you. See you in a little bit.